Should he trade full time? Well, let's find out, shall we? I had a message on the channel here last week from a follower saying, "Hi Charlie, thanks for sharing," whatever the video was now. "I was inspired by your millions by the minute trading documentary. If anyone's not seen that, you can find it on the website. It's in our media section on charlieburtontrading.com. And I started trading recently after spending an extensive amount of time researching on the technicalities of the market. I managed to come up with a strategy and that's been working quite well for me. Just in January alone, I was able to make a £1,000 profit on my £500 account. I'm now thinking of going into trading full time. Please, what advice would you give me? And are you thinking of holding any seminars in London anytime soon?" Well, I am based in the UK, but I'm not planning on doing any seminars, no. I'm too busy, unfortunately, to be doing seminars. So we have our trading community here, and you're more than welcome to join that. But I don't have the time to be doing seminars. Good question here. The first thing to note is that this person has made a £1,000 profit on his £500 account. So he's basically made 200%. Oops. Oh, I need my other pen, don't I? Let's get rid of that. So let's move our other pen here. He's made 200% in a month. So is 200% in a month realistic? I would say no. And should he quit his job and go full time? I would say not enough information and probably not. There you go. Those are my two answers. That's the end of the video. So let's delve into this a little bit here. So for the starters, to make 200% on your account from trading, it's almost, I'm not even going to say it's unlikely. I would almost say that it's impossible to replicate that over a course of a year. So you're not going to carry on making 200% every month over the course of a year. I can pretty much put a guarantee on that, and I won't only eat my hat, I'll eat my house if you manage to do that every month. So it's not realistic. So in order to make 200% in a month, it's lovely that he has done that, but it's likely that he's risking a lot more on his account per trade. So if you were just risking, let's say, an arbitrary 1% of your account per trade, it's highly unlikely you'd make 200% in a month. I've never made 200% in a month in all the years I've been trading, because I don't, and the only way to make 200% in a month is to be risking a lot more. So you would be needing to risk a lot more. The problem is, if you're risking, let's say, 5% per trade, in order, and potentially you could do that, there's a big risk that you're going to have a few losers in a row, and all of a sudden you've lost a quarter of your account, or more. So, and trust me when I say that it doesn't matter how good you think your strategy is, it won't work forever, like however it has worked. So unfortunately, the reality is that any given strategy will fail at some point, and you haven't got enough data on how good it is as yet, and you won't have enough data on how good it is until you've probably been trading it for a couple of years, probably. Why can't you go and trade full time? Based on the information I have, trading on a £500 account, you're not going to make £1,000 profit every month based on that. Now, like I said, I don't have all information. This person may say, well, actually, Charlie, I'm going to put £10,000 into my trading account. Okay, I'm going to put £10,000 into my trading account, and surely I can make an income off of that and trade full time. Well, again, depending on how much you want to be making, but let's say you've put £10,000 into your account, and what do you need to be making? I don't know, but let's say you need to be making £5,000 per month. That's 50% per month. Again, highly unrealistic. And I know I hate to have to dampen people's dreams and what people think is possible in the market, but I have to give the realistic advice. and 50% per month. Now, I have done 50% in a month before on the Trading Challenge accounts, but again, I'm not going to do that every month. And if you're looking to trade for a living, you need to do that. And so again, that's going to be very, 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 very difficult, if not impossible, to achieve. Now, other people out there on the internet may tell you otherwise, but they have other vested interests as to why they'll say that. I'm trying to give you realistic advice on the back of the knowledge and information I have, having coached traders over the last 20 years and seeing what traders can do, but also as a result of the relationships I have with brokers that they tell me what the reality is with their clients. So making 50% every month it's not impossible, but I think I think it's highly unlikely. Okay, highly unlikely. So you could do it here and there, but there is another problem here. If you've put £10,000 into a trading account and you're looking to try and make, let's say, £5,000 a month on it, you're putting yourself under a huge amount of pressure. So you may not trade as well when you don't have an income coming in. Actually, that's the wrong words. You won't trade as well when there's a pressure there, if there's no other income coming in. So I do have some more advice here for you, because I don't know all information. Because then you're like, well, I've got to make this £5,000. And what happens if you don't? What if you have a losing month? What if your strategy just has or doesn't make any money for you in that month? You're going to now be saying, oh God, I haven't brought any money in this month. And then that affects your ability to trade going forwards, creates stress, and it becomes a roller coaster ride. So how do you get around this? Well, you can. The pressure to make 50% a month is huge. So if you're going to trade for a living, then more likely you need 6 figures in your account, and then 5,000 on a 100,000 account. Well, at least that's a bit more realistic at 5%, per month, or 60% per year. Okay, so much more realistic. But even then, I would still say it'd be better if you have another pot of money to draw upon for your income, because even when you're trying to make 5% a month, you're not going to make it every month. Because on 100,000, you don't need to use the same amount of leverage. So you reduce your leverage, which is good, but you still got to try and make those gains. So you're better off to have if you've got another pot of money that you can draw upon, which means you can just you're not having to rely on that 5,000 to come in every month. And the best advice I can give is to not quit your day job, or to have another source of income coming in. And so that other source of income could be from a partner. You could say, well, actually, my partner's got a reasonable job, so he or she or they bring in a given amount that covers all the bills and everything else, and so I'm not under pressure in the same way. Good, that's a tick. Or you have other incomes from, maybe you've got a small business, or other incomes from maybe from property or whatever. You've got some other income coming in. Anything to take the pressure off you, because as soon as pressure goes on, you'll find it much, much more difficult to trade. So that would be my main advice. In the main, most people are undercapitalized. So they don't have 100,000 to trade with. They're trading with much less. And so then they're relying on the leverage and risking more in order to make the kind of returns that they need to live on. The problem with that is that adds a load of pressure, because if you're risking more, at some point you're going to have some losing trades or a losing period. That then adds pressure because you've not brought money in and you're solely reliant on your trading. So my general advice is have another source of income coming in. If you can carry on with your job and trade, great, because then you've got your full-time job income coming in, and you're compounding that by hopefully carrying on making money. You'll always find you'll make your trade better when you do have another source of income coming in, whether it's from yourself or from external investments like property or other businesses, or you have a partner. So that would be my main advice to you. Hopefully it's of use, and by all means, anybody who's watching this, do add in the comments here any other advice you'd like to share with that individual. Obviously I was limited on the information that I was given. Certainly based on the amounts that he's shared so far, he's way too undercapitalized and is obviously taken on way too much leverage. So that's just a car crash waiting to happen. But even if he deleverages, then he's going to need more capital. Maybe he can do that, but again, he's still better off making sure that there's some form of other income coming into the house, because that takes the pressure off. You take the pressure off, you'll always trade better.